This is Nick coming to you from Airing It Out. I'm filling in for Fuller this week. She had a previous speaking engagement, so she will be back next week with an exciting interview for you guys. So I just thought I'd come in and speak a little more about mental illness. As most of you may recall, last time I was on the show was Airing It Out with Fuller, episode 2. I was actually the first full interview, and we spoke about mental illness. As you may know or recall, and if you don't, I'm letting you know that I suffer from schizoaffective disorder. Um, I've been facing this illness for about 12 years now, and because I got on a regular routine as far as my medicine, and I actually have a great support system, I've been able to live a fairly normal life. I've gone to school, I've gotten 2 degrees. I am a producer, music engineer, a writer, uh, cameraman, photographer. I wear a lot of hats, and it wouldn't have been possible a few years ago. It wasn't until I wanted to actually see what was wrong with me and talk to the doctors and try to work out what medicines I needed to be on and try to understand what the illness was and why I was affected by it, that I was able to not completely overcome, but I've gotten to a point where I can cope and I can live a fairly normal life. Um, so I just wanted to talk to the people who are suffering from any kind of mental illness, or if you feel like you have symptoms of any kind of mental illness, from bipolar disorder, depression, schizoaffective disorder, schizophrenia, any of the illnesses that are common and uncommon when it comes to mental health. I just wanted to speak to you guys and let you know that it is okay. I know sometimes it can be embarrassing and we don't want to share what's going on in our minds, but that's the best thing we can do, is to just open up. Even if you start off journaling, just write down your thoughts and write down what's going on in your mind. Just so that when you do approach a doctor, or even if it's a family member or a close friend that you approach for the first time, you can kind of articulate what it is that has been going on in your mind. Also, a great thing is when you look back, let's say 12 years from now, um, once you started journaling and you look back 12 years and you'll read some of the things that you were feeling or experiencing, and now that you've gotten on a medicine that helps and you've talked to people and opened up about it and you're living a better life, um, you'll see those things, and it'll be fairly interesting to see, and you won't even recognize the person who wrote all those things, because that's what happened with me. I'm not saying everyone's case is the same. I'm not saying that everyone's coping mechanisms are the same, but that's just something that helped me. There are numerous resources for people with mental illness, and I will put some of those links and resources at the end of this video or in the link under the video. And you can just kind of see what works for you. There are chats that you can join. There are group therapies that you can join. There's individual therapy. And of course, there are doctors that can help you get on the medicine that you need in order to live a decent and normal life. For the people who are close to people with mental illness, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys for a second. Um, it's difficult to live with a mental illness, as you may imagine, because the world is already crazy. There's so much going on in the world, from war to famine, gas prices skyrocketing. We have a pandemic going on, not to mention all the other diseases we had before the pandemic began. So we have to face all that in the real world. Still get a job, still work, still pay bills, and still cope with the illness that's in our head. It's difficult because you have two realities. You have the reality that's in your head and the things that you think are going on, and then you have the reality that is real life that everyone sees and everyone faces. Um, so I just wanted to kind of throw this out there, and it's just food for thought. That just think about when you see a homeless person and they may be screaming and yelling at the top of their lungs, and we've all just written them off as crazy. Well, what if they never got the help that they needed for their mental illness? Maybe they didn't have anyone to talk to. Maybe they didn't feel they could talk to the people that they did have around them. So now they're on the streets. They're screaming and yelling, but they're not screaming and yelling at anybody. They're screaming and yelling at someone in their head. The voices in their head. I hear voices, and there have been countless times where I've wanted to just scream, shut up, and just go off on the voices in my head. So for other people, you never know what someone's facing or going through. So just kind of have some empathy for these people. I'm not saying that everyone's case is the same, and there are bad people in the world, but most people just want to be loved. Most people just want to be understood. Especially when you have a mental illness. You just need someone to talk to. You need someone who's not going to judge you or just write you off as crazy. It's difficult getting through life as it is. So why wouldn't you want to come together and help the people that you love or the people that you're close to, be it family, friends, I mean sometimes coworkers. You never know who is in your life for what reason. So that's why you have to be nice to everyone. And just love people. That's all we need is a little more love in this world. But I just wanted to come on and speak about those things. Getting on medicine, going back to the people with the illness, it can be a scary thing because there are so many side effects. There's so many things that you risk by taking these medications. When I first started taking medicine, they had me on whatever. I started moving slow. I couldn't put on my own clothes. I couldn't put on deodorant. My jaw got tight. I gained more weight than I have now. My blood sugar was not regulated. Everything was out of whack. But it's trial and error. So we tried stuff, it didn't work. We tried something else, and we've finally gotten to something that works for me. Not everyone's the same. So the side effects from the other medicines may not come up in other people. So you have to try and see what works for you. But be willing to try. I know it's scary, but being willing to at least take that first step to at least see what's going to work, it'll help change your life. It will. And who knows? You may be the next president of the United States. And you don't know that because you won't take that first step to try to get treatment. You never know. Just food for thought. I want to thank you guys for coming on here today. We love you here at Airing It Out. We appreciate all the likes, comments, shares, and our subscribers. If you've already subscribed, please suggest to someone else to subscribe. And, if they suggest to someone else to subscribe, we can get this out there to as many people as possible. Because that's the important thing is we're sharing knowledge. That's all Airing It Out is about. It's sharing love, knowledge, and just doing our part to reach as many people as we can to kind of help cope with this world that we're living in. If you have a comment, drop it down below. As I stated, I'll be putting resources and links at the bottom of the video. Check them out. See if there's something that may help you or help a loved one. Fuller will be back next week with an exciting interview. I'll be back on the other side of the camera and doing everything else in the background. But I want to thank you for joining us today, and I hope you enjoy your week. We love you.